Greetings and welcome to the Sports Card Ripping Teacher. We're going to lead off with a little Corbin Carroll story to hear about all these fake Corbin Carroll TTM autographs that are going around out there. And this summer, when the Diamondbacks came to Wrigley Field, it was during July 21st, he had played. That was a Saturday. He was 1 for 5. He had a run, 2 RBIs, and at the time he was batting .211. Now, the next day, Sunday, which would have been July 22nd, going against Shota Imanaga, he was not in the lineup. And this game was 10 innings. The Cubs didn't end up losing that game. And if Shota's in the lineup, I don't want to be in there either. I mean, he was a horse. He was a stud. And he's our MVP, our Cy Young for the season, that's for sure. But that's beside the point. So I was getting done working. I was in the right field column, and I was walking around towards home plate. I would exit out of the left field door there, and I see a guy standing by the tunnel that leads up to the stadium that was one section over from where the visitors go into their locker room. And usually around that time of the day, you'll see the reporters kind of huddling around that door, and at a certain point, they kind of go in. But it was an extra inning game. This guy's kind of standing against the wall, looking out a little bit, kind of seeing the action, kind of looking around. He looked exactly like Corbin Carroll. So I stood there for a moment. It was a hot day. I had a little home run in pizza afterwards from one of the stands. And it's like, I'm going to finish my pizza. If he's still there, I am going to just go over there. And I got done. He was still there, kind of looking. No one really paying attention to him. I said, hey, are you Corbin Carroll? And he kind of almost said yes. He's like, oh, no. And I was like, no, man, you look just like him if you are not. Just trying to get a little bit of small talk going on. And he did have a badge on. It was not a Wrigley Field badge. It was something else. And there's just a name on there. And I don't want to, maybe the guy isn't. I don't want to, the guy trying to watch the game just to, bark up his tree or whatever. But, just kind of made a little bit of small talk. He had a little small talk back and forth. But I almost feel like it was him. Or it could be this imposter that is signing autographs for him, just learning his every move. But it was just kind of curious, where it was a total day off for him. It was a 2-1 game, extra innings. Why not bring Corbin Carroll off the bench? I don't know in those types of situations. But, yeah, I think it was Corbin Carroll. Who knows? All right, class is in session. Today is Wednesday, January 15th, lesson number 93, same thing as yesterday. The number 9 for the University of Notre Dame, the current version of the Irish, is R.J. Oben, defensive lineman. That name may sound familiar because it was him who sprung the ball loose against Georgia in the first half to set up another Notre Dame score going into halftime. Stud lineman, looking forward to him playing on Monday. Can't believe it's right around the corner, folks. And number 3, Joe Montana. He was the quarterback for the 1977 National Championship team. And some people may not know, he was not the starting quarterback for the first couple of games of the season. And there was an injury. Montana went in. They ran the slate. The rest is kind of history, as they would say. Now, in 1942, the Cubs were scheduled to have lights, but they did need the materials for the war, so they just kind of scrapped the idea of lights at Wrigley Field. And as we've known before, I'm going to pull out my opening night at Wrigley Field, August 8th, 1988, but they said, nope, it's going to rain that day, so it was played the next day. And in 1967, the Green Bay Packers won Super Bowl number 1, defeating the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 35-10. Let's open some cards. All right, so I've been excited to open up some Pro Set Platinum football for about a week now. We have had these, and I opened one the other day with the boys. I'm like, you're going to be impressed by these. We're going to pull some fire, and we sure did. Look at that Bo Jackson card right there. So there's your Pro Set Platinum. I mean, Bo was a stud. As a kid, you always were glad to pull Bo Jackson, whether it was football or it was baseball. And here's the back of the cards. Got another action photo. It's always cool where it'll have the photographer for the front and the back, some accolades to them. I always wish they had some stats on there, though. Just kind of help you know if it was a rookie card or like what year card it was for each of these players. But man, Pro Set, that was some awesome stuff right there. No names on the front, so you had to know the numbers, had to know the players. Had a Willie Galt right there. Chris Everett. Is it Chris Everett? No, Jim Everett. Oh, man, I don't want anyone coming at me. That's for sure. That's for sure. So, what do we got stuck here? Ken O'Brien. That's not Ken O'Brien, though. There we go. There's the Ken O'Brien. Pat Swilling. Cleveland Gary. Look how close they get. Mark Bortz, Chicago radio legend. Mark Bortz. Oh, look at that placement of the kick. Perfect. Perfect right there. So we're going to open up 2 more packs of these with you. And if you're around my age, I mean, this is fun. You know, I'm not going to get anything that's going to change my life at all. But it's $1. You know, they're all kind of stuck here a little bit. Kind of get them undone a little bit. So there we go. Oops. Got Sean Jones on the back. He was eventually a Green Bay Packer. Did win the Super Bowl with them. Love those Houston Oilers uniforms. Steve McMichael, newest member of the Football Hall of Fame. Should be announcing the new class during the Super Bowl week or the week leading up to the Super Bowl. Oh, look at that. Troy Aikman. 3 good nerds. He'll be dancing in the street for a little Troy Aikman. John McDonough, George Govich, doing the photos there. Very nice, very nice. Where's the John McDonough that worked for the Cubs? Probably not. I guess it's a different time frame. Is that Ickey Woods? I don't think it is. No, James Brooks. Got another. Neil Anderson, running the rock in someone's fingers right there. Come on apart. Neil Anderson. That's not Seth Jones. Is that Seth Jones? It is Seth Jones. There we go. It is Seth Jones. Dexter Carter. Always like those Patriot helmets there. Always pretty sharp. Blair Thomas. Remember, he had a lot of his rookie cards. Never amounted to much right there. Got the little hand in right there. Johnny Bailey. All right, let's do one more. Let's do one more. There are a few, I think, like scattered inserts in the set. Look at that. Primetime Deion Sanders right there. Otis Anderson, Rodney Peete. Rodney Peete. Imagine the Breakers having these today, having to, going through and pull each one. They would probably just pull it off and say, well, the back card and the front card, that's all we know, and put it aside. So Mark Rippon. Andre Rison. Little Bad Moon. Some punter respect. Come on. Daniel Stubbs. Who is that? Oh, Pepper Johnson. All right, little Pepper Johnson. Ken Norton. Ernest Gibbons. Is that Cornelius Bennett? No. Daryl Talley. I was way off. Oh, we got a Sterling Sharp right there. We got a Sterling Sharp. I know my main man, Hammy, he was talking about how Sterling was sitting on his helmet in the cards yesterday, and that would have drove him crazy. Kind of like in basketball when the kids will sit on the basketball. That would drive me crazy. It would also drive me crazy during practice to be dribbling it as I'm talking. Hold on to the ball, kids. Hold on to the ball. Listen to your coaches. And we'll finish up with Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. That was fun. I enjoyed it. Classes. Oh, one more thing. So Tomorrow we're going to go kaboom hunting. I think on Friday, possibly, I ordered a mega box of Prism off of Walmart. Crazy thing, they were cheaper than Target, which is never the case. We may be opening up a mega box of Prism on Friday. Now, class is dismissed.